Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 23 of the trend-setting, groundbreaking, and record-recording, network-shattering podcast known worldwide. See, Larry can't do that anymore because he's not under contract with Titus. As the one and only, we'll get to that, as the one and only Yin and The Yang. And last I checked, I am still the former two-time USW heavyweight champion known to my commandos as Anthony Chu, a.k.a. Chuzilla, the ultimate thriller. All muscle, no filler, baby. And on today's episode, I will give you an extensive report on New Jersey HorrorCon. BJ Penn, a pro wrestler? Another firing of one of the tech team on the Yin and The Yang for Friday's fuck-up with the release of the podcast. Bloodsport turns 30 years old. The Yin and The Yang gets merchandise, chewed out Q&A, and a whole lot more. So to join me on this in the navigation chair to disseminate the information, allow me to introduce my co-host, Mr. Co-host to you. Fans, I hope you're ready for this one because I'm sure he's going to have a dang good rebuttal for what I just said. Yes, fans, he is the power-rated, stomach-satiated, podcast-created, ego-inflated, power-hungry generated, owner, ruler, and guru of the More of the Same network. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he is... Stiff upper lip. It says here, Larry, my podcast network will kick your podcast network ass.
And my last name?
Mormon. Mormon! So
yeah.
He is rolling in the dough. He's fanning himself with the money. That's all embezzled money, by the way, folks. But we won't get into that. Now that he's an LLC, he's just, I'm
spending the big money now.
Well, that is the money, brother. And he's holding up 50s, folks, and some hundreds there.
No, actually, we can break the fourth wall. This is a pretty cool Japanese fan with Mario on it from Super Mario Brothers. So.
Okay.
Very cool.
Your formal introduction this week is really supposed to be Larry, my podcasting network can kick your podcasting network's ass, Mormon. It's just that I wrote this so late that I actually stayed up. I watched UFC 222 last night.
Oh, yeah?
Am I out of it, man? 12 days straight of work. Oh, excuse me. We can't say the W word here. And all of a sudden, just one particular day off today, and then back to the grind tomorrow for another 7 straight. So I'm a little out of it right now.
It's all right. I'm going to be doing some OT myself coming up. So I'm going to be a little busy myself.
Wait a minute. What do you need OT for when you have a podcasting network? Aren't you the man? I mean, don't people work for the man?
This conglomerate that you see here before you, the gold statue of myself holding a dolphin high up in the air that
God,
that invites you into my humble abode, and then once you're in there, there's bronze statues of a chiseled grit of a god. Who is,
for heaven's sake,
Larry Mormon. Because to beat my competition, you have to grab it by the throat and squeeze until the life seeps out of it. And to beat a millionaire, you have to rob a millionaire. And the More of the Same network is now live and in living color, headlined by the mothership that is the Yin and The Yang podcast. And I do want to say this. I have gone on record on the Better Half podcast saying that this show right now, the Yin and The Yang podcast, is the most professionally run show of the More of the Same network. Yes, I put you over.
What was the world's greatest cynic's response to that?
He said he'll eventually listen to the show.
Yeah, okay. That basically means that I have a better chance of buying a Mega Millions ticket tonight and winning.
Oh, by the way, what's the prize? Because we do have bills to pay.
Okay, so you apparently don't listen to my podcast either. Did we not discuss this a couple of episodes ago about what you would be getting? It ain't gonna be $25,000, brother.
Hey, you should be happy with $25K. You know what? All right, look, I've thought about it.
No.
I've thought about it.
I'm not done. Shut up. I'm not done. It's my show. God damn it! I'll do what I got to do.
What's happening here? What is this?
Oh, when your hand goes up, I keep talking. So, what I'm trying to say is, if you listen to the last couple of episodes, which apparently you didn't, you're getting your tech team to filling you in on the information and disseminating the intel. Did I not say $5 million to you, $5 million to Frank, $5 million to Rippo, $5 million to the network, and then leave me the fuck alone?
So technically, I get $10 million then.
Fine. No, listen here, Bernie Madoff. All right, you're not going to get $10 million. It's to go to the overall betterment of the people.
Oh, okay.
That's who we do this podcast.
But I honestly, I thought about it. I honestly thought about it.
This is not to fund your fucking trip to Golden Corral, okay?
I wish. I've always wanted to go to Golden Corral. What are you kidding me?
Well, the next time, if we come and it's Rusev Day.
What do you mean if? Today is Rusev Day.
It's technically Mormon Day, but that's a different story. And what were you saying before? I'm sorry.
I honestly thought about it. I took it seriously. And if I did win, and let's say after taxes it was like $250 million, I honestly would give you like $40,000, which I think is like way generous, and I think should cover all of your needs and honest. And I would truly do that without batting an eye. And
What's the first thing?
And that's coming from the cockles of my heart.
Well, at least you put LES at the end of that one word.
That's an actual part of the heart.
Oh God. Well, I feel so important now that I am now worth $40,000. It's like Tuco. Every time he gets away with the assassination and the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? That stage assassination, his value just goes up. That's nice.
Nice pull. Nice pull. I like it.
Hey, Tuco Pacifico Benedicto Juan Maria Ramirez. All right? We should actually use that as our opening theme by episode 50 or something. How interesting would that be?
That is my dad's ringtone.
El Clasico.
On his phone.
Is it true I heard something about the fact that the military, before they go out to war at one point in the military, they actually played that song, The Ecstasy of Gold, before they went out there as an inspiration or something?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I forgot which branch, but one of the branches did.
Before they go out there and kick ass?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Ennio Morricone did a fantastic job.
Great movie.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, why not?
And by the way, let's just get this out of the way right now, okay? All the fans want to know what the fuck happened on Friday with this whole technical team deal. Why did these people drop the ball again? Not Friday, not Saturday, Sunday. Your technical team, look, you're the boss, so I understand you employ these idiot interns to be able to do a job, and they're supposed to hand out and understand what to do, and they allow the network to go. I mean, you pay these people, goddammit. Well, what the hell happened?
I mean, look, we got the new guy, right? What's his name? Winston or something? What's his name? Winnie?
Winston. Is it Ensign or something?
Ensign, that's right, Ensign.
Yeah.
Or
you don't even know your own intern's
You don't
names?
even know your intern. Anyway, well, first of all,
I'm not assigned to it. My intern actually defected back to his native land.
He did. We haven't seen him
We
since.
Still haven't heard from him.
I saw him. I think I saw him in the single men's luge. Not 100% sure.
Oh, Lord. Oh, God.
So Friday out here in Northeast, we had a nor'easter, which ended up being a lot worse than I thought it was going to be.
And that's not their fault. I get that.
So we lost, even though I have 15 generators plugged into the mansion. Unfortunately, what happens is all of them just decided to crap out on me all at the exact same time. So we actually lost power here for a while. There's actually still a tree limb dangling from the power lines outside. So we had a little trouble come Friday. And then Saturday, what happened was, because we really couldn't do anything, I invited the interns and we had a tequila party. So things got a little out of hand. Someone's pants are still hanging on the cinder block outside that's blocking the driveway, so common people can't make their way in. So
in other words, you had a sausage fest that night.
I didn't say that. I did not say that at all. You
didn't mention anything about the ladies.
Well, see, what happened was we invited them, and they just, because of the weather, they had to cancel at the last minute.
Oh boy!
So things got a little out of hand on Saturday with the drinking. We had some karaoke. We had a staged bar fight downstairs that actually Jimmy over here actually did really good. He knocked out. Winston's over here. That's right. You got Ensign over there. So he knocked out Winston's teeth, which still you got one lodged in the wall, which we still have to pry out. Because that drywall is just gonna get in there.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right. Well, for God's sake.
Anyway,
people don't need to hear this.
Anyway, so Saturday kind of was a wash, and then Sunday, you had politely asked where the show was, and that's when it was brought to my attention that.
Okay,
unfortunately,
allow me to correct you with all due respect here. I didn't ask you about the show. The people asked about the show. They were emailing us out the gills in that email of ours and asking what the living hell happened to the Yin and Yang for 2 days.
But bottom line, it made it. It made it Sunday, and I will make sure.
And I appreciate that.
And I will make sure, and I'll do everything in my power that this will never happen again.
Okay, well, that's nice to know, Chris Jericho. You two monkeys in the back. What was it Winston and what's that other?
No, I got Winston over here. There? See, we don't know these people's names. We should we should just number them.
Number them?
Yeah.
Well, you'd be number 2, then. And
I'm really sorry.
Winston, you know what? We're featuring Devoning him. Okay. Featuring
really?
Devon.
Winston. All right.
Yeah.
Winston,
you're fired.
Done. Wait, which studio is Winston at? Who did I just fire?
I just fired your intern, Winston.
Oh, okay.
So
get your tooth out of the drywall. We'll spackle
it
God!
Later. Now we don't need to give that. Yeah, we don't need to give that kind of graphic detail. There may be kids listening to the show.
I hope not.
Okay. Well, I hope not either. Anyway,
we have a show to do.
Well, we fired. Yes, we do. How many minutes have we gone into so far?
13.
Okay, 13 minutes, and we still haven't gone through the actual show yet. All right. Well, UFC 222 yesterday, even though I was like freaking tired, man, between the gym and the 9 to 5, I really found that it was good. I mean, I kind of fell asleep in and out watching it, but that was my fault.
Was it on Fox? Fox 1? Fox Sports 1, I mean?
Well, that's the prelims.
No, I thought the whole thing was on Fox Sports 1, so it was a pay-per-view.
Yes.
Okay.
So poor Kat Zingano, she lost by split decision. Now, to me, it was kind of questionable. Ketlin Vieira won the fight. I love me some Kat Zingano, boy. Whoo, she is a fine, fine woman.
You like women who can kick your ass.
I do. I love athletic women. Hence, Megan Martin, please just marry me. And by the way, nice shout out to Megan Martin, my future wife, in the fact that she actually her team Ronin, actually won and got into the playoffs of a Team American Ninja Warrior.
Oh, cool.
Well, Ninja versus Ninja. So she performed 3 times, which basically for me was the highlight of my Thursday night. Let's see. So this young kid, Stefan Struve, the skyscraper, lost to Andre Arlovsky, who is like 15, 20 years older than this guy probably.
Really?
Yeah, Andre Arlovsky has been around for nearly 15 years, right? And I couldn't believe that Arlovsky just he went the distance. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, he's an old man. He's this and that." He's a good fighter. I don't give a shit what anybody says about Arlovsky. So that was a good fight. This guy Sean O'Malley beat Andre Sukumath, the Asian Sensation. That's an interesting name. Wait a minute. That was stolen.
Wait a minute. I was going to say, that sounded familiar.
That was stolen by the USW. You know what? We're filing a lawsuit. This guy is not. That was my faction, goddammit. What the hell's that? Another unanimous decision fight. All right. And then it got interesting. Frankie Edgar fights Brian Ortega. Now, this kid, Brian Ortega, is good. Right. And he beat Frankie and I go to UFC gym. I go to Frankie Edgar's UFC gym in New Jersey.
Okay.
And we were watching it there. And, obviously they had the nice table spread for the former two-time USW champ, myself, right?
You got the head table.
Yeah, of course. It's like when Ric Flair comes out, do you just give him a common general, standing admission seat? No. Just like in WCW, he sits down with the champagne and the ladies and all that. Well, I'd have the ladies, but that's a different story. And poor Frankie Edgar loses round 1, 4 minutes and 44 seconds.
Man.
Of a knockout.
Wow, they're so close to the bell.
TKO. It's like, damn it, that sucked. And oh Lord, the main event, Chris Cyborg. Okay, literally destroyed this girl, Yana Kunitskaya.
Oh, is that the blonde? Was she Russian?
Yes, something like that.
Oh, I saw her at the weigh-in. Ooh, hello.
Good Lord, was she fine. And she got her ass whipped.
I figured that was going to happen because when you look like you look as Chris Cyborg, you will destroy most anyone in front of you.
Pretty much. I mean, everybody predicted that girl was going to get her ass kicked, but she is damn fine to look at. I'll tell you that much.
Huh.
So, yeah, that was UFC 222 in a nutshell. I mean, there were good fights, but I don't know, man. I've seen better. Then again, maybe I shouldn't say that because I was like a little out of it right now, So,
25 years of UFC, you're going to get good fights, you're going to get not so good fights. It happens.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually what makes it, you know what I mean? It makes it legit, the fact that it's ugly.
You think so?
I think so, yeah, you don't have to worry about putting on a show. They're just going in there and knock someone out as quickly as possible.
Well, if you ever noticed that there's knockout of the night awards and not submission of the night awards. Have you ever noticed that now?
Really? I didn't know that.
From what I've seen, I don't think there is such a thing anymore.
Huh.
And by the way, for Chris Cyborg's one-round effort, she pockets $500,000.
Oh, my God. Good Lord. That's how much Glenn Nataro is going to make for half a show.
Isn't that nuts?
Huh.
By the way, former UFC Hall of Famer Chuck Liddell is close to a huge deal with Bellator MMA.
Really?
So we may actually see the Iceman come back.
Wow. That's going to be huge. That's going to be huge for Bellator.
But, here's what my problem is. Bellator has become now the WCW of the MMA world. I mean, think about how many of the old-time wrestlers were signed on to WCW, and that's how they made their name. And that's what Bellator is doing now. They're signing all the old guys, the old former guys of the UFC, like Matt Mitrione, Frank Mir. They had the late, great Kimbo Slice. They had Kem Shamrock, Hoist Gracie. These are the people who are practically, Gracie, Shamrock. They started the UFC.
But can they still go?
Obviously not like they used to.
So that's what we're going to have to see. That's what they're going to have to prove in Bellator.
Right. I mean, isn't that nuts? That's nuts, man.
That's crazy. I mean, but yeah, listen, Bellator's got to get their name out there. So might as well piggyback on these guys.
Well, I mean, they have a name. You know what I mean?
Does Bellator have a big women's division?
I'm sorry?
Does Bellator have a big women's division?
It does, but it's not as big as UFC's, obviously, because they have production value. They have the money to buy, the talent and whatnot.
Very true.
And by the way, I did mention earlier in the program, while we're still on the subject of UFC, so Chris Cyborg comes out during her training session, her public training session or public sparring session, public workout, and some guy comes out as a masked sparring partner.
Really?
Yeah.
Masked?
A mask, like a lucha libre mask.
Weird.
And they were working out with the mask, and then at the end, it was revealed it was BJ Penn.
Really?
The UFC Hall of Famer BJ Penn.
Wow.
Now, this reiterates one specific fact, okay? And that is simply that you cannot tell me that all these MMA people don't like wrestling because, with the exception of certain people, right? They don't like wrestling, and then all of a sudden, it's fake, it's this and that. Well, then why, once again, are we taking pro wrestling tricks? Right?
Very true.
I mean, come on, folks, just admit it, for God's sake, because you claim that you don't like, professional wrestling, but then it's okay for you to use ideas from pro wrestling, how to market it, how to basically come out, make an entranceway. Come on. I mean, just admit it, MMA world. Somebody just have the balls to come forward to say that there are influences in professional wrestling in the MMA world. That's all I ask. I'm not admitting that you guys say that you're fans,
Yeah.
But I found that pretty interesting. I was actually watching that public workout, and I was like, damn, this guy looks very familiar, right? And all of a sudden, when they took off the mask, I was like, I knew it was BJ Penn.
Did you
just the way he was built, just the way he moves and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So that was interesting, So
okay.
What was on tap for you today, man, or this whole week or whatnot? You have a good week?
I did. It wasn't bad. The week was a week at the 9 to 5. For the weekend, like I said, Friday kind of things got the kibosh on it because of the nor'easter.
Right.
So that, out of power and stuff. Yesterday, what did I do yesterday? I really didn't do, kind of laid low a little bit yesterday. Well, no, that's a lie. That's a blatant lie. No, I actually went out to Game On. So I did some retro gaming shopping.
Really?
Yep. And you can hear about that on the Retro Gamers podcast.
The Better Retro Gamers podcast.
Actually, I bought a homebrew and a kind of a lost game I haven't heard of in a while. One for Genesis, one for the Nintendo. And I have to say, those guys over there, Game On, Brian, Tristan, those two guys, along with all the staff there, Al, they're good people. And I've been going there since right before the new year. I mean, I've spent a lot of money there, but they are definitely good people. They are gamers who love games, and they treat their customers right. So I got to say, they are very, very good people.
Wow, very cool, man.
Yeah, and then today, I just kind of laid low today. I locked myself out of the mansion today, so that was fun.
Those interns are playing tricks on you again, huh?
I grabbed what was my spare car keys, which does not have my house keys on them, and so I was locked out of the house for a little while until my chauffeur finally arrived for the day. He has a set of keys, so he was able to finally let me in. But it was a trying day. I had to lower myself. I had to lower my standards and actually go into a common delicatessen to get my lunch because I was locked out of the house. And all I had on me, I barely had any money on me. I had two $100 bills on me. I mean, it was nothing. That gets me nowhere. It was embarrassing.
$200 doesn't get you anywhere?
Look, when you live the lifestyle I live, $200 I can throw into a fountain.
Wow. That is crazy.
By the way, your dues are overdue this month. So
I've already paid the dues, all right? And I am shining right now. The champ is here, and you should be lucky that the champ is here because as far as I'm concerned, I've met other people from podcasts today in my endeavors, and I've gotten some contacts about some networks, okay?
Really?
So just to let you know, yeah, that's right. Now, I wasn't plugging anybody but me. So you watch your tongue there, young man. All right?
So
because
how was...
I need to jump and ship very soon. So how was my day? I'm glad you asked. Thank you very much. Well, this morning, I got up at about 9 o'clock. I moseyed on my way in the Chewmobile, leaving on top of Castle Chewzilla, and I drove all the way to Eastland, New Jersey, in the Renaissance Hotel. We had the New Jersey Horror Con. All right.
Okay.
So you go in there, it's just like Chiller, but it's a pretty equally big venue and a lot of vendors, lots and lots and lots of vendors. It seems though nowadays everybody's selling their own graphic novel. Everybody's making a film. Everybody's got a podcast. Everybody's got – no, I'm serious. Everybody's got a podcast. I mean, there were people who were sitting down with their tables and all they were doing is they were selling merchandise for their podcast. Some people were going live for their podcast.
I've done both those things.
Yeah, well, it's nice to see that the Yin and the Yang once again is still proven to be the redhead stepchild of the more of the same network because we don't have either.
We're working on it.
Where are our, great benefits at the end of this rainbow, right? And besides, anyway, instead of me just browbeating you on this, which I should every single second I get, and there were people who just were, I mean, literally, man, everybody's got something that they want to sell, they want to promote and stuff like that. And, there were a lot of stars that were out. I was not playing conservative, but I'm not going to lie to you. I really, really wanted to meet the people who I wanted to meet, and I really gave it thought. So the first person I had to look for, and you may think it's Kate Hodge. It was not.
No.
I was kind of afraid to talk to her. I'll explain that in a minute. Now, have you ever seen a movie called Better Luck Tomorrow?
Why does it sound familiar?
It's about a group of overachieving Asian kids that just wreak havoc in California.
No, I didn't see that. I'd remember that.
It's a badass film, man. It's like every stereotype about Asian Americans that people know of went out the window. This movie literally broke the mold.
Really?
So I met Parry Shen. Parry Shen is the voice of a character in Sleeping Dogs, in the video game Sleeping Dogs, called Winston Chu. No relation.
Oh,
and basically it's a badass character, straight up triads. And he does a very good, very good piece. Was it Hatch? He was in Hatchet 1, 2, and 3. He's now a recurring character in General Hospital. Huh. I mean, he does a lot. He does a lot of voiceover work and stuff like that. And meeting him, the guy is a native New Yorker.
Oh, wow.
He's a Queens product.
Really?
And,
okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think he lives in Cali now, but he's a Queens product. And
cool.
The man was awesome. Literally talking to him, it's like I knew him my life long. I mean,
cool.
We were just talking about the old neighborhood. We were talking about, growing up, being Asian American and how it reflects and we're right. I mean, there's still, we were talking about how he saw me. I had my Rapid Fire DVD with me, and he's like, "Hey, you're gonna have Kate Hodge sign that for you?" I'm like, "Of course." And I said, "But you're the first person I'm meeting right now." And he's like, "Oh man, I appreciate it." We were talking about how, after over 40 years later, there is still not one consistent, bankable lead Asian American actor, and we were talking about that and how things are slowly changing. We were talking about the video game and stuff like that, and we were talking about the good and the bad of Sleeping Dogs, which is an awesome game. I know it's not retro, but it is freaking awesome.
I'm still a gamer.
Like, think about, do you know what the game is?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played it in a little bit, but
it's like it's like an Asia's version to Grand Theft Auto.
Yep.
Is really what it is. It's a pretty damn good game. Why they never came out with a part 2, I have no clue.
Don't you play it?
You know what I mean? Oh, I play it. Yeah. I'm playing it. I beat it already, and I'm gonna play it again.
Okay.
Because it's just that cool.
Cool.
And I'm meeting him. I got a photo with him, and I put that up on my Instagram. I'll put that up on my Facebook as well. I may even put that up on the page for the Yin and Yang.
Okay.
And it was really cool. Everybody was nice. Everybody, even though you didn't, any of the stars, if you walked by them, they just said hi to you. You know, it was. There were even signs that said free hugs, which is pretty interesting.
Weird.
So I was like, okay, you know. But Parry Shen was awesome. He is awesome. The guy is the man, and I really, really appreciate. Oh, that's probably the other podcasting networks calling me right now as we speak. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, it was just an overall. I mean, the guy was great. If I knew he was going to be there, I literally would have brought him my Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah, honestly, right?
And I would have bought him my DVD of Better Luck Tomorrow and had him sign it. You know what I mean? But taking a picture of him, he was very gracious, a great guy. I gave him my contact information. I told him we do the Yin and Yang podcast.
Really?
I told him I'd give him a huge shout out.
Look at you.
And I told him I gave him more 365. So if he wants to subscribe on, hey, if a celebrity wants, if an A-lister celebrity wants to, sign on to the more 365,
very true.
Why not?
I've had enough D-grade celebrities block me, so it'd be nice to have an A-grade celebrity follow me.
Yeah. So, and I promised Mr. Shen I would give him a massive shout out. So, Mr. Parry Shen, thank you so much. Doje, which means thank you so much for really, really being, taking the time out, talking to me, being as respectable and hospitable and as great as you are. I really, really appreciate it. And so that was definitely one person. And I also gave him my contact information. So if he ever wants to come over to the to the grind, to the 9 to 5, I'd be more than glad to give him a VIP tour.
Cool.
You know? So that's one person I met. I also came across Mick Foley, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I know you've met Mick.
I have.
And
actually,
Mick's a very nice guy.
You can see the pop vinyl. I got autographed.
Yes, sir.
Right there.
Yep.
Right there.
So Mick is a great guy, and I told him, I said, I've met you before. And he's like, really? Where? And I said, I kid you not, I was at a Twisted Sister concert in the Fillmore in Manhattan, right? The Fillmore in Manhattan. And I was using the restroom, and all of a sudden I'm standing there, and I look to my right, and Mick Foley is taking a piss. And I'm like, and my mouth just drops, right?
Weird place for that to happen.
Yeah, I know. This was okay. Well, that didn't mean it like that. Jesus, there are kids listening to the show, right? So this is around like 2010, 2011, and this is when I just came back to New York, and I talked to him during the Twisted Sister concert, and I said, I went up to him and asked him about, being a pro wrestler at 35, 36, and he gave me sound advice, and he said, do it for the love and not for the fact of, you wanting to headline or have to headline WrestleMania or whatnot. And I talked to him today in passing, and he was just going over to his table. He still does his DDP yoga, which is pretty cool.
Good for him.
A very nice man. He's really cool dude, man. I didn't realize that I think you mentioned it to me that the autograph money that he gets goes to charity?
I think so. Maybe some of it.
Okay. Well, some of the proceeds are going out to do good.
So.
That's awesome.
I think so.
Yeah, it's cool, man. How many people can actually say that they would do that?
Yeah, right.
Which is great. So it's great to see Mick Foley up and running, and he's doing well for himself. But I never got a picture or an autograph with him because the lines are long.
Oh, yeah.
And he was really taking time out to talk to people and stuff, which is really cool. I wanted to meet Rochelle Davis, who was the little girl Shelley in The Crow. Now, I wanted to ask her about her experiences with Brandon Lee. But for some odd reason, I didn't go to the table. And I just was really, I mean, she was very nice to people. It's just that I didn't really know what to say to her, you know, in a way, because she was so young acting with Brandon. And at the same time, I don't know, man. I just was just preoccupied with, you know, looking around and all that. And then I met John Russo. Does that name ring a bell?
I can't put my thumb on it.
So John Russo is an American screenwriter, director, and he worked with George Romero in Night of the Living Dead. And he also did Return of the Living Dead.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Right. And I met the guy. The guy's like 79 years old. He's a nice guy. Talked to him. And he was selling the actual original script.
Really?
Of Night of the Living Dead for $140.
Oh, man. Signed?
Signed.
By just him?
By him. I don't know if it's him and Romero, but it's definitely him.
Wow. I would have bought that in a heartbeat.
The original script for $140.
Holy cow.
What was it? He was also selling the script for the Return of the Living Dead, which was pretty interesting. He had a lot of photos and posters and stuff like that, but it's like I'm waiting to meet him, and all of a sudden he's on his cell phone and he's just talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, and then he just goes, and he just gets off the phone. And he's like, yes. I'm like, what do you mean, fucking yes? I'm trying to say hi to you, and I'm trying to get your attention to speak to you, and I just said, you know what, sir, I'll be right back. I just never showed back.
You left?
Yeah,
wow. You no-showed him.
No. He no-showed the champ. He no-showed the two-time USW
I don't blame
champ.
you.
I am humble, but if you're going to be on the phone like that and you get off the phone, you know, if I was in his spot, I'd be like, I'm sorry, really, you know, didn't mean to do that to you, but it was an important call, you know. How are you today? How's everything? At least shake my hand, goddammit, you know?
He Virgil'd you.
Yeah, no kidding. No, he didn't go up to me and say, yo, man, you want an autograph? But I just, yeah. All right, man. All right. That's what Virgil did to me. So.
Oh, man. Well, hopefully that wasn't your final interaction at the show.
Oh, no. That wasn't.
Good.
That wasn't my final interaction. Oh, by the way, I'm going to break the fourth wall here. Do you know what this is?
It's one of those like multi-tools?
Well, this is the multi-tool right over here. So I have this little pocket thing that's an 11-purpose multi-tool.
It's like the size of a credit card.
Right. Little size of a credit card, maybe, something like that. Now, do you know what this is? This was given to me because I was speaking to the guy, and he and his buddy own a knife shop, weaponry shop, right? This is actually a throwing card. Like
really?
A Ninja Star? It's a throwing card.
Holy cow.
Looks very deceptive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right? It's the size of a credit card, and it's sharp edges, which is why I have the plastic over it.
Oh, man.
And he showed me how to use one of these. This is badass stuff.
Really?
This can slice somebody's neck, I kid you not.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty cool, and he just gave this to me. So,
okay.
I kid you not. And he said, if you will plug my store, please do. And he just gave that to me, you know?
Okay.
So, with respect.
It's interesting. I think are we going to get a demo?
To keep my word and be respectful to the man. And I'm going to plug this thing right over here. The place is called Fester's Funhouse. And you can actually find these guys. They have airsoft guns, swords, knives, toys, comics, collectibles. Fester's Funhouse can be found on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the big three. You can contact them at info@festersfunhouse.com. So info@festersfunhouse.com. And you can also look at their website, which is www.festersfunhouse.com. And these guys sell freaking everything. There was this spring-assisted knife, right? Mm-hmm. Of all the comic book characters.
Really?
Punisher, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, everything.
That's cool.
It was pretty interesting. The one that he had that kind of stood out for me was he had one for paramedics.
Ooh, okay.
He had like a paramedic symbol on it.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
man.
it's
like,
nice.
I mean, and Mike was a great guy, so wanted to plug this and thank you for the for the card, man. I appreciate it. And this is just some badass stuff right here. But nevertheless, things are great. And then, as I walked around, I had to face the moment of truth. So I go up to Kate Hodge.
Now, here we go.
Of you, right, who don't know who Kate Hodge is, Kate Hodge is basically the co-star of the movie Rapid Fire with Brandon Lee. And I went up to her and I said, "Excuse me, Miss Hodge." I said, I didn't realize she was married. And, oh, yes, by the way, I did look at her and I said, "Oh, somebody beat me to it." She goes, "What do you mean?" And I pointed at her ring finger. And she goes, "Yeah, somebody just beat me to it about like a year ago." And I'm like, damn it.
You are going to just drag that into the ground, that pickup line.
Of course. One day it will work.
Oh, my gosh.
You know? And I said, "What was it?" I said, "I have to face my fear right now." And she's like, kind of looked at me like, "What do you mean?" And I said, "I'm a very big fan of Brandon. And, his passing has really affected my life. And it's affected me even after 20-something years later of his passing. And what's interesting is that this month actually marks the 25th anniversary."
Really?
Because he passed in 93. Yep. So
okay, yeah.
This month will be his 25th anniversary of his passing. And had he lived, he would have been like 56, something like that. Mm-hmm. So he was born in 65, you know?
Okay.
So 53, he would have been if he had lived on this year, you know? Mm-hmm. And damn it, man. I said to her, I said, it's I said it really hurts, knowing this. And she said, yeah. She goes, she was giving me the story about when she found out that he passed on. She said that he was a great guy, like the nicest kid in the world. Because he was only 26, 27 years old when he did the movie. And, he was extremely easy to work with. And then when the premiere came, she told me this eerie story that when the premiere came, he said something to the people that were in front of him, her included. And he said to everybody, "So how does it feel to go to the very first and last movie premiere of mine?" And and everybody's looking at him like, what? Because the next movie he did was The Crow, and he never went to his movie premiere. So
weird.
It was his first
Eerie.
and last one. It's almost like a very eerie premonition of things to come, like kind of like a bold early prediction. And lo and behold, it happened. And and then it brought me back to what Ernie Hudson said from, Ghostbusters. Ernie Hudson was the last person he had dinner with before he passed away.
Really?
Before Brandon Lee passed away when he was filming The Crow. And thinking of that as well as combined with what Ms. Hodge said, I was trying my absolute best, like, to fight tears because it bothers me. It bothers me greatly that he's passed on, and people have asked me, friends and family have asked me, well, why is it that when Brandon Lee passed away, you look like you're more affected by that than, let's say, your grandma passing away? So because my grandmother lived to 101. Mm-hmm. She lived a full life. She did what she wanted to do. She passed on as a happy person and at natural causes. And then you have a kid who passed on at 27, 28 years old. And he was destined for greatness. And his life was cut short over some bullshit accident. And it bothers me. And that day, I remember that day too. And I want to save that. I think I've mentioned it briefly, but I will go into it in length when we record for the release of his passing that week. And we'll do a dedication to Brandon. But I want to save it for that. But I was fighting back tears, man. And I took a picture with her. She's beautiful. Still, I mean, and I said to her, I'm really beginning to think you're a vampire because you don't age. And she laughed. She said that was a really good one. She goes, actually, I'm a she-wolf of London. And by the way, she was in She-Wolf in London. So I said, okay, that's good enough for me. The bottom line is you just look absolutely beautiful still. And she was like, oh, thank you. And so I met her, and that was really all the celebrities I actually took a photo with, got an autograph with. I was going to meet Amelia Kincaid, but I just she had laryngitis.
Oh, okay. Was she still there?
She was still there, but she was speaking like this.
Oh, okay.
And I was like,
yeah.
And I was like, is this an act? And then she was like, no, I really have laryngitis. And I was like, not laryngitis, okay?
Oh, well, that's
so
another inflammation of the throat.
Not laryngitis, but yeah, she was hurting. And I was going to get a picture, an autograph picture for Rippo. Because now, Rippo...
What was she in again?
She was in a horror movie, low-budget horror movie called Night of the Demons.
Oh, yes.
1, 2, and 3, I believe.
Okay.
And she played a badass character. It was a scary-looking character, too. So that I didn't meet her. Oh, I did meet one cosplayer.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yes, Louis Stardust.
Yeah, she's cool.
Her boyfriend / husband. I don't even know.
Boyfriend / husband.
I don't know. I don't know what he is to her. I mean, her partner. Okay, her man.
Her baby daddy.
I don't know about that. Okay, but I mean, he's a great guy. Very cool dude, man. Got an autograph photo of her, and she is a hottie. And she dressed up as Jason. And did you see the picture of her putting her hand over my mouth?
Yes, I saw that. That was very funny.
Savor that picture, because that is the only time that I actually enjoyed having my mouth shut. Okay, and let's not take 1,000 sexual innuendos on that, but that was just she could have held me like that all day, and I'd have been all right with it.
She's adorable. She's a little
she's
spitfire.
Very nice, very cool. They very cool people. So I was very, very happy about that.
Vendor-wise, was it there was a lot of vendors?
Lots of vendors. I mean, they put Chiller Theater to shame.
Really? Wow.
85% vendors.
Okay.
And the celebrities were scattered everywhere, which is pretty interesting setup, because now you're forced to walk around, and go past the vendors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also bought from the NECA company. Some guy was selling a Freddy glove, and I wanted that autographed.
Oh, really?
So I bought a real metal Freddy glove.
Oh,
right?
Oh, wow.
So it was cost me $50-something, right?
All right, it's not bad.
And it was fresh, new in the box. And I think that when we go to Chiller, there should be some people from Nightmare on Elm Street. I would love to have them sign.
I think so. Yeah, there should be somebody.
There should be a couple of people. So that would be pretty awesome. So we'll definitely do that. Now, so I mean, overall, New Jersey HorrorCon, I wish I could have recorded today and then handed it over to you. But, what can I say?
It's all right. No problem. So let me ask you then, on a scale of 1 to 5. Honestly, or as I like to call the Mormon scale of excellence, on a scale of 1 to 5 Mormons, how many Mormons would you give New Jersey HorrorCon?
How many morons did you say? Oh, Mormons? Is that what I just heard?
Yes.
Somebody give me some better headphones, please. Better headphones, please. Thank you very much. I thought he said morons. Well, there's one moron I'm talking to now, Ensign. Okay. New headphones, all right? Thanks. Please, hurry up, because I couldn't hear. I'm sorry. Now, did you say Mormons?
Yes, that is my rating scale, yes.
I see. Okay, well, on a scale of 1 to 5, I would have to give it around 3.5 to 4 Mormons.
Wow, that's a big Mormon. Okay.
I mean, everything, and you have to be. I'll be very honest with you. Everything was organized.
Okay.
There was not 1 ounce of tension. There was not any problems.
Well,
everybody was very friendly with one another. Even though with the long lines, people were still very friendly. And it really, it's a shame that we get judged, and people are judged by their appearance in this world. you know, and there were people who were goths, metalheads. There were people who, you know, live that alternative lifestyle. There were, alternative lifestyle folks. And they look at me, and I was just wearing a very simple, plain, ordinary thing. I didn't dress up for anything. There were a lot of cosplayers. And people looked at me, man. And even though I didn't look like them and they didn't look like me, they were very friendly people.
Okay,
very
good.
cool. And that's awesome, man. You want to go to a venue like that. You know, and Chiller has the same thing.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, but let's be honest. Chiller is the cream of the crop right now when it comes
for something
to
like this?
horror.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely. You know? So they were pretty awesome.
Good.
Yeah, so I would say 3.5 to 4 Mormons.
Cool. All right.
More tending towards a 4 Mormon side.
Fair enough. Okay. Now, it's very rare something gets a 5. So
I'm 4 Mormon as well.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah. You know, Larry Mormon, that is. All right. Now, Larry, this is going to make me feel old. I don't know about you. How old were you in 1988?
1988, 8 years old. I was 8.
You were 8 years old.
Yep.
Okay. I was 14.
Oh, my
No,
God.
excuse me. I was 12 years old
in
1988, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a 76 baby. So 12 years old, and my dad, my mom, myself, and my little brother, we just came back from a trip to China. Now, my parents, my father and I come back to the United States first because my mom wants to spend some extra time with her family or whatever, because she hasn't been back home at that point in over, 10, 15 years, something like that, right? So my mom came to this country when she was like in 1973, 72, 73.
Oh, okay.
So the thing about it is she hasn't been back to, see her family in so long. So my dad comes home, and I remember in 1988, I had missed about a month of school, right?
Wow.
And yeah, because when you go to Asia and you fly halfway around the world, we don't do what Rippo does. We stay for a length of time.
He's in Japan as we speak.
Yeah, exactly. I talked to him this morning, by the way, when I was at the New Jersey Horror Con.
Oh, yeah?
So I told him, I said, any New Japan, All Japan pro wrestling shirts that he can find that's my size, just pick one up for me, or a Jushin Thunder Liger shirt, So, so we come back to the United States, and all of a sudden, I said to my dad, I'm bored, right? My dad was like, do you study? Did you do everything? I said, yeah, everything's done. Now, I'm not exactly a very good academic, student, but got what I had to get done.
I'm pretty sure you're good at math.
No, suck at math,
Really?
Suck at science. My strong points was history and foreign language, actually.
Oh, there you
Believe
go.
it or not.
All right.
English was subpar. It was about 80, 85 around there, which wasn't great. But what gave me an 80-something average was that my math was 65 every semester. My science was 65, 70 every semester. What got me an 80-something average? My foreign language, which I took French and I took and history, was 90-something.
There you go.
It was like 95 or some shit.
Way to
right?
break the stereotype. Good for you.
I'm trying here. I'm trying. I'm one of the early pioneers of doing as little as possible, right? Because Asians work hard, right? So I do as little as possible. Yeah, hell yeah. I'm just trying to, and then and I suck at math and science. What can I say?
So, all right. So you're back. You're bored.
And over the phone, by the way, if you didn't speak to me if you spoke to me for the first time, never met me, never seen what I look like, you would really think that some New Yorker was on the phone, and you would not think I'm Asian, right?
Yes, you don't have that voice. Doesn't at first come off as Land of the Rising Sun.
Exactly. So come home, and I said I'm bored, and my dad's like, all right, fine. This weekend, which was about Friday, we'll go do something. I said, what are we gonna do? Just don't worry about it. We'll just go do something. Dad takes me to movies.
Okay.
What do I see? Bloodsport.
Oh, my God.
At the UA Theater in Sheepshead Bay.
Oh, my God.
That's a violent film.
And a violent location.
At the UA Sheepshead Bay at the time was a violent location. And
Bloodsport. Holy cow.
We go see Bloodsport, and it was the craziest film because what was interesting was I was just in Hong Kong.
Oh, yeah.
I just came back from Hong Kong at that time, And all of a sudden, I'm getting to see Hong Kong on film. And it was the first time I think the world has ever seen, as a star, lead star, Jean-Claude Van Damme. And I looked at this film, and I couldn't believe it really opened my eyes. And I said to it was that film that actually, I was always a Bruce Lee fan. Bruce Lee is, to me, the pioneer. Mm-hmm. But it was that film where I said to my dad, I said, Dad, I want to take up martial arts after seeing this movie. Now, it has my man Bolo Young in it, that big Asian dude.
Yeah.
And Bolo was a legend. So, I mean, to see Jean-Claude and Bolo in the film, and, as the years go by, you get to appreciate it. But can you believe that movie dropped in 1988? That means thus making this past week, this movie was 30 years old.
Oh, my God. Where is time going?
Dude, I couldn't even believe it. 12 years old, and now I'm going to be 42 this year. How insane is this?
Bro, I'm going to be 38 in less than 3 weeks.
Right. Now, for all you millennial fucks out there who have never heard of this and probably are thinking this is some blood sports, a horror movie or some shit, right?
Put down your Tide Pod and listen closely.
Put down your Tide Pod. Put down your fucking venti green tea lattes with non-fat milk and light foam and whatever the fuck else you have. All right? Yeah, and put your pinky down as you're drinking it. All right? And listen. So the movie Bloodsport is supposedly based around the life of a martial artist named Frank Dukes, who later on sued Jean-Claude Van Damme for playing him in the film because they said it was inaccuracies, and all this shit. And the movie was actually made by Cannon Films.
Oh,
so
Cannon Films.
Yeah. May they rest in peace. Great movie company.
There is a documentary on Netflix all about Cannon Films. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. I don't think it's called Cannon, but I watched it. It was quite an interesting documentary about Cannon Films.
And Cannon Films did a lot of the good, even cheesy martial art films back in the day. They did some Chuck Norris stuff, and it was a really, really good company. But Bloodsport was their headliner, kind of like what Nightmare on Elm Street was to New Line. Yeah, And the movie was about the story of Frank Dukes, who claimed to be who won a secretive kumite. A kumite meaning a secretive tournament fight in Asia, and it was proven to be bullshit.
Really?
But they figured, hey, let's just make some movie, make a movie, make some money out of this, and why the hell not, right? Mm-hmm. So Jean-Claude does this film, and the film, what I love about this film is that when you look at the martial arts scenes, practically all the fights have full exposure. They show different styles, some of them made up, but they show different styles. They show full exposure movements, meaning they don't use CGI. They don't use wiring. They don't use any of that bullshit, right? All this bullshit, yeah? And they don't use any of this stuff, right? They use pure talent.
It's funny. It's funny you're saying this like it was wide open, no CGI. Meanwhile, the night we record, the shitty Oscars are on, which are all about CGI and really cloud the mind as to what, actual entertainment can look like.
Right. Well, exactly. And, that fuck the Oscars anyway.
Amen, brother.
Kiss my ass. And it's like, it was a time when that movie really prompted martial arts movies to be fun again because it was something that people were interested in. And then you had a lot of those cheap underground B-rated martial art movies that Billy Blanks did, that Bolo Young did, and then, you had all those, and we'll talk about those one of these days, and all that stuff. So it was really interesting time, and it set off a lot. Because after Bruce Lee passed on, they needed to pass the torch down to a new martial art movie hero, and it was Jean-Claude. And Jean-Claude
Muscles from Brussels.
He ruled the world from 1988 to like 1994, 1995.
He did. He really did.
He really ruled the world,
Absolutely.
And, and then he fell off, and then he's making a comeback, and people appreciate him like he's a legend now, which he is.
I'll say he is.
Maybe except for Cody Garbrandt, but that's a different story. Then but nevertheless, and if Cody's listening to this, fuck you, all right? But yeah, I can't believe that movie turns 30 years old. It turned 30 years old, and it's just like wow. Like I just had to bring you down memory lane on that one, brother.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. 30, good lord, Dirty 30. Mm-hmm. It's been a while since I saw that movie too.
Yeah, so movie never gets old. It's a classic,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So now I'm going to say this, and I may get fired, folks. So please download the episode, record it, listen to it 60,000 times if you want. I don't care. I may get fired on the spot right now.
Uh-oh, what are you talking about?
So since I feel that this podcast known as the Yin and The Yang, our humble little project here, is getting the short end of the stick, if you get what I'm saying, from this network, I decided to contact a vendor. Now, don't play heel, all right? I know that comes natural to you. Don't play the bad guy, but, let's call a spade a spade. We are not getting the just due that we deserve. So I went out, and I did some networking today to talk to vendors about making shirts and merchandise and things that we, as Choose Commandos and Mormons Militants, that we could have some wearables. We could have some usables. What? We could have things that because apparently our network ain't doing shit for us.
Wait a minute. What? We have a site ready to go. We just need a We have
undocumented immigrants where wait. We have foreign exchange students
yes.
Okay, working for us who don't understand a thing, fucked up the Friday podcast, and how come in the other network shows they don't have foreign exchange students working for us?
It's they're run a little better. We just need a logo. We need art, and then we can have T-shirts like that.
Snap fingers. Okay, listen. If it took you that long to respond to that question,
what are you talking? What?
In the hood, there's a saying: if you think long, you think wrong.
Who are you talking? Your contract does not allow you to sell the rights to the podcast to an entity. Who are you talking to? I need to know names.
You don't need to know anything until you see the merchandise drop. Fans,
we're getting a cut of this.
Of Choose Commandos, I will take care of you guys, and we will do an independent project, much so like Catherine Bach did with Daisy Duke. All right? When they didn't want to give her the poster, she made her own poster, and it sold like millions of copies. All right?
What a pull.
Back in the day of the Dukes of Hazzard. So fans, if you don't hear an episode 24 next week, you'll know why. What? Because it's Larry's fault. He pulled the plug on the show.
No, wait a minute. It is the website, the merchandise is ready to go. We just need a logo. This it's not like the Retro Gamers that if you go to tchip.com and do a search for Retro Gamers, you could buy Retro Gamers merchandise.
That was the shittiest plug I've ever seen in the history of the More of the Same network, that you had to sneak that in on my show. Like I said, Rippo doesn't listen to my show, okay? And you don't listen to my show. No, you're actually forced to listen to my show, and you make the interns do it, all right? So we get the show at 6, so you don't even know what I do, actually. I could have inserted the Brother Love Show, Piper's Pit, the Flower Shop, the Body Shop, and you wouldn't have even known.
More of the Same network better be getting a cut of this.
We're doing it an independent project here, sir.
Okay, we have to. We're
going to use all public logos and symbols. What? Artwork will come from my niece Victoria, who's an artist. All right.
What, you telling me this stuff now?
Huh?
You're telling me this stuff now that you know an artist that could have gotten us a logo already?
Yes.
Emmett?
Well,
no.
My niece is a talented artist, and I'm going to have her do something good for me.
Can you get me Mr. Chu's contract, please? Thank you. It's where? I know it's in the safe. It's in the safe with all the other contracts. I gave you the combination last week.
So, fans, I'm going to make sure that at some point this year we will have merchandise.
What do you mean you don't remember the combination? I need the contracts are in there. I
Now,
need them.
Anyway,
I can't do anything
as
without
Larry is bickering with his illegal, I mean his
Even if I
undocumented,
wanted to fire
his
him, I can't
foreign
because
exchange student.
it's stuck
So
in the.
here's the deal, right? So we are going to fight the power, my friends, and we're going to. So join the revolution. I have some huge projects coming up. I also am going
You
to.
better. You're going to have huge
wall.
projects when you
Now,
have to find a new network.
That's not a problem. I have contacts over here. All right. So that I made today. Why do you think I go to these conventions? It's to make sure I have a plan B.
Is this why you didn't invite me?
No, I invited you. You just said you didn't want to show up here.
Continue.
You said that it wasn't good enough for you, and you were locked out of your house anyway.
I was.
And that's my fault? Listen, I do exactly what I want to do. All right? So, as maybe I'll be generous enough to give you a cut of the money. And about how much? Let's see. When the merchandise really blows up, how about?
Well, I mean, half and half.
$40,000. Does that nice sum ring a bell? Huh? $40,000. You see, fans. We have a voice, too, and I will make sure that every time I get on this microphone, I will call Mr. Mormon out on his Madoff scheme, on his Ponzi scheme, because the man is a shyster, a con artist, a flim-flammer, a browbeater, all right, a shyster. I did mention shyster, but it's good to mention it twice for you anyway. But nevertheless, we will see. And you know what, Larry? Since you want to pull a Ponzi scheme, all right, how about us trying to get us live for fucking once?
I'm game. I'm all for that. We could have gone live tonight. Audio live, not video live, but we still could have gone live. Okay, how about this? Very within the next month, the Yin and the Yang podcast will be live.
I'm a realist. I will believe it when I see it.
Well, you're going to have to believe when you see it because you're going to be part of it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I will believe it when I see it, and I will believe it when I actually put the headset on and we're in front of a camera and we go work our magic.
Well, I said I can't do video. It would have to be it would be audio live.
No. Audio is not good enough. You will not silence this panda-looking handsome face. All right? Do you know why you do podcast live? Because you have the perfect face for radio. All right? We will do video because you will not silence and look at – you will not hide this beautiful, handsome face.
I don't want to look at it. You're right.
If you could deal with Messina's mug, you can deal with mine.
Do you know how many
All
times
right?
I've worked in customer service, like telephone customer service, and how many times people said, "You have a wonderful voice for radio."
Jesus Christ. You have the perfect face for radio.
I've said that. Don't steal my jokes.
No, that's a Jim Cornette thing. I'm stealing his thing, and you're stealing his thing.
Wait, what?
You will not silence this face. You will not silence this voice. You will not silence the people. We have spoken.
Oh, folks, this is going to be a wonderful ride.
There is a reason why they call me the human panda, you know.
What? Yeah, well, I call you something else, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, a lowlife.
Oh, not at all.
A guy who's just stealing. A guy who's stealing opportunities at a podcasting network.
Absolutely not, sir. I've gone on record and said this is the most professional podcast that we do on the network.
That's because your intern passed you a script to say that.
Not at all. I have no interns on the better half.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you know, fans, you know, we'll see what he truly says right now. Are you ready now? Can we get back into this shit?
Please.
Okay. Finally. Now, Larry, I'm going to get a little mad here.
Uh-oh.
Okay? Because
is it my favorite time of the day?
It is your favorite time of the day.
Nice.
Okay? And this is one of those things where you know, I mean, we gotta do it. So,
all right.
I mean, this is, and I'm fucking mad this week.
What?
Because after reading this, I'm pretty pissed.
Really?
You ready for this one?
Let's do it.
Okay. So,
I spit in the face of people people who don't want to be cool.
Now, this week's victim of Chewed Out has gotten me real pissed, because I was reading this while I was at the Comic-Con, or the HorrorCon, excuse me, and I am at a point right now where I'm fucking fed up.
And you did send me a link, so I know what it is going in, and I got to tell you, I've actually seen this report on a couple of different news sources.
Okay. Well, this is fucking sickening. I'm they're lucky within these reports they didn't release this prick's name. If I fucking find out who he is, I swear, oh my God. So
you're livid, brother.
I'm already fucking mad, and I haven't even chewed this prick out yet. Okay? Listen to this. This is out of Hooters in Kansas, all right? A man allegedly spit on an African-American child, all right, in a Kansas restaurant and called this kid the N-word.
Wow.
Now, mind you, he's a fucking preschooler.
Really?
All right? It says here a man allegedly spit on a black child in a Kansas restaurant, and the boy called the boy the N-word. And when the police arrived, he told them, "It's okay, I'm a firefighter." Like, that's supposed to fucking – that's supposed to give him a license to be a racist piece of shit?
That's insanity. I didn't realize it was a preschooler.
The incident happened at a Hooters restaurant in Overland Park this week, where the child was close to 24 family members for a family's birthday party. And as KCTV reported, the preschooler walked away from his family during the event and somehow came into the path of an angry diner. A witness said that the man spit on the child and then called him racial slurs. He basically said that he said, "Get that little blank up the floor." The witness said the N-word started to get thrown around by this gentleman, or by this prick piece of shit. And the witnesses said that there was fear that it was an unprompted attack that on this child that could lead to violence. But the family reportedly did not retaliate and left with the young boy before the police arrived. Right? And, when the officers responded to this 911 call, somebody called, I don't know if it's a patron or if it's, the management itself. The man tried to explain his actions by telling them that he's a first responder. So he went from being a firefighter to a first responder.
Right? It's the same thing.
Right? And it says here, in quote, "I didn't catch what the officer said to him, but his immediate response was, 'It's okay, I'm a fireman.' Like that was supposed to be a blanket cover for everything for him," the witness said. Though the family left before the police arrived, they returned later in the week to give an account of the incident. And the Overland Park Police Department noted in a press conference that they are going into an investigation about this. And it's drawn a lot of attention. And even Hooters, actually the Overland Park Fire Department, says that this is a disheartening story. This gentleman does not work for us.
Really?
As he claims, right?
So he was probably drunk.
And but I mean, it's still fucked up.
Oh, I'm not dismissing what he said. I'm just saying he's probably just a belligerent drunk.
Hooters issues a response, with the company releasing a statement noting that it does not tolerate any harassment or derogatory language in its restaurants.
Duh.
I mean, that's their standard operating procedure, I guess, right? Yeah. And it's generated a lot of press. Many call for the harshest of charges possible against the man, noting that the child was only a preschooler. Right? Mm-hmm. And police say they're planning to charging the man who spit on the child, but did not specify what charges he would face, and the man's name has not been released. Okay, motherfucker. Let me just say this. Do you know why this personally bothers me? I don't care if the child was African American, Latino, Asian. I don't even care if he's an immigrant. I don't even care if he's white. I don't care. Whatever the fuck. Okay? Listen, racism is racism. And let me say this. My nephew is half Slovenian and half Chinese. If that was if that incident ever happened to my nephew, I'd lose my shit. I'd grab a fork and I'd fucking stab the guy repeatedly. I would literally put this guy on his ass. And because, to say that to a preschooler, obviously the preschooler may or may not have understood what that word meant. But when you're spit on, I don't care what age you are, you know. So is this prick drunk? Is he not drunk? Is he a bully? Is he not a bully? Right? I mean, is he a racist? Is he not? Look, all I know is that they're lucky they didn't release this guy's name, because had they released this guy's name, and I hope the police department does something about this, because if not, this will garnish a lot of attention. It makes Hooters look bad that the escalated incident went that far, and thirdly, it will look bad upon the police, and fourthly, you're telling me that you had 24 family members and not one person got up and fucking confronted this prick? Are you kidding? If this was my family, forget it. Hey, not all of us in my family know how to fight, but fuck, you could bet your ass we will do our best to cause some havoc in that fucking place. Or wait until the guy comes out of the restaurant and we'll whip his ass.
It could just be, some people just believe in, just leave, just, let it be. They don't want to start the confrontation.
I commend the family, and I'm not saying that fighting is the answer or the solution, but I commend the family greatly for just having, the tolerance and the patience to just take a nonviolent and a passive, approach, and coming back late in the week to give their account. And that's very respectable. That's very hard to do, because Lord knows if something like that happened to a family member or even a friend's child, I would lose my shit, man. All right. So, I mean, but this prick does not – I hope he doesn't get away with it. If he does get away with it, it'll be sickening. Absolutely sickening.
I don't think he will. I mean, look, words are words. Me being me, honestly, the word doesn't, words can just roll off. It's the actual act of spitting on somebody that's got to be some sort of attack, considered an attack.
Wouldn't that be considered an assault? That's what I was
trying to think of. Assault, yeah.
I mean, like, for me, like, as I'm Chinese, I'm American, but of Chinese and Trinidadian descent. I've had people obviously in my lifetime, use racial slurs against me, and either, you pick and choose your battles, but, I mean, like, words do hurt, man. And for this incident to even occur and go as far as it did, I'm really surprised that, nobody got killed or got into a fight over this, because, man, and for a third time in a row, I don't know who I'm chewing out here, but I really hope that this person or whomever knows this guy, all right, and if anybody agrees and condones with this, then let me just say this, all right? Do you know what happens when a racist piece of shit like yourself has the fucking audacity to do that, to spit at a kid and to use a racial slur and to basically just assault this kid? I mean, you know what happens, huh? Motherfucker, I don't even know who you are.
I can take a guess what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, you're goddamn right. You son of a bitch. Not only did you just get chewed out, but you know what? If you're looking to pick a fight, fucking come to New Jersey sometime. Come look me up, get off at exit 8A, put it on social media that you're there. I will fucking personally get out of my car, and I'll fucking beat the shit out of you myself. Or I'll even go over to Kansas, over to Overland Park, and beat your ass personally for free of charge.
We here at the More the Same Network do not condone physical violence. Some of this is for entertainment purposes only, other than the fact of this asshole being chewed out big time. But you know what?
You just got chewed out,
there
you motherfucker.
That's what I was looking for. I was setting you up for it.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I just got heated over this.
I don't blame you.
This is fucking ridiculous.
I don't blame you.
2018. This is not 1818, and this is not 1918. And like, what the fuck? You know, and this is sickening. It is absolutely sickening. This is adding to the problem, more problems to what we already have in this world. And this prick fucking does this. Motherfucker, if I find out who you are, and if I find out that you still want to fight, you still want to pick a fucking fight, I will fucking go over to Kansas, or you come over to Jersey, and we can have it out. You choose when, you choose where. No press. No fucking no press, no social media, no video, no nothing, and whatever happens, happens. You come get me, asshole. Fuck you.
There we go. That puts the icing on the cake.
Shit.
That puts the icing on the cake. Look at this. He's riled up, man. I'm telling you. You're ready to go, brother.
I don't even drink alcohol, and I feel like I need one.
You know, Ensign, if I was you, I would just stay where you are in the production booth right now.
Ensign is eating right now. I don't know. He's eating everything in sight.
He really is a fat piece of garbage, Ensign.
Yes, he is. I don't know. Oh, now he's trying to correct me. His name is not Ensign. It's Ensign. Endson. Ensign.
Ensign.
Well, you're still Ensign to me, idiot. All right? Stupid idiot.
I'm going to call him number 2418.
2418. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so you're giving them jail numbers now. No, that's nice. All right. Well, let's answer some questions here. And from the fans. This is personally taken off the Facebook page. So I want to make sure that you guys were recognized for this. And so Liz in Florida, she didn't say where in Florida, who is an avid listener. Liz basically says, "Hi, boys. I want to thank you for what you do. Got a question here for you. What martial arts is recommended for the elderly?" All right. Well, she has two questions here. So the first one is, what martial arts is recommended for the elderly? Obviously, the most typical answer you would get is Tai Chi, simply because, once again, as I think I've mentioned this earlier in the podcast, is that Tai Chi is very good for helps maintain balance, and it also makes you move, so you get some type of physical activity as well as giving you good blood circulation, which is great. It also depends. I mean, there are some people, depending on what age, who can do a lot, who can try to do a lot, and we all are built very differently structurally, and it depends on your fitness level. What would you like to accomplish? I mean, I know people who are in their 60s who are doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you know? So, I mean, what do you want to do? You know, set a goal and accomplish it, right? Let's see here. She asked a second question. What arts are good for children and teens who want to channel their energy in a positive manner? To be very honest with you, any discipline. Doesn't matter what it is. You name it, it's there, as long as it gives them physical activities, something physical but mental. The mental aspect is, to me, more important than the physical aspect, because the great Taekwondo master Jun Ri once said that, you know, martial art, you know, just the physical martial arts with philosophy, right, actually is a very, very good thing. But, you know, physical martial arts with no philosophy and no discipline is a very deadly weapon. With children and teenagers, they are at their most vulnerable times. There's lots of temptations for them out there. If you want to steer them with positive energy, again, it really, you have to find something that fits your personality. You know, one of the reasons why I did Wing Chun when I first started in my 20s was I was overweight and I couldn't kick very high and I couldn't do anything acrobatic. And Wing Chun is a very grounded art and very simple one. And it's just been with me for over 15 years. So I'm very, very lucky to have that. Well, thank you, Liz. I appreciate that. And I hope you're doing well out there in Florida. You know, we at the Yin and the Yang, we love you. Okay. We have Donald from Bayside, New York. Donald wants to know, how would a person, if they are taking a martial art, knows that it's right for them? Okay. Well, I would say, honestly, again, you have to find an art, not because it looks cool, not because it looks awesome, like, I mean, what are you doing it for? Are you doing it for performance? Are you doing it for fitness? Are you doing it for, it has to fit your goals and your personality, kind of like what Liz asked me. So it really depends on the individual, and you have to do some searching, For me, I knew Wing Chun was right for me. I knew that, Judo was right for me. I knew that Taekwondo was right for me. These are arts that I love, and I would not trade them for anything in the world. Am I a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy? I love the art. I think it's a very respectable art. It's very good for you. I would love to learn aspects of it, but do I see me doing it lifelong? Not exactly. But then again, you never know what can change, I would say that it also, there's a lot of different elements, price-wise, location, do you like the people that you're working with? You have to be in a good, positive environment. There's so many different factors, So, Donald, thank you for your question. We appreciate it, and hope you're doing well out there in Bayside, New York. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think Donald actually follows me on social media, which is awesome.
That's awesome. That's good.
Yep. Do you know who the last question's from? I'll give you a little hint. Glenn Notaro. I kid you not. Glenn gave us a question.
That's not really a little hint, but okay.
All right, Glenn Notaro.
Wow. Glenn,
what's up, brother?
What's going on?
The Glenster, a.k.a. the Cruiserweight, the champ, is here on the Yin and the Yang. And Glenn lives in Hicksville, New York, of course. And Big G gave me a question. Top 5 martial arts methods to use and how to incorporate them in a match.
Oh.
Wow, that's a tough-ass question, brother. And that's the man couldn't just text me and call me. He had to give it to me on Facebook. Right? Top 5 martial arts methods to use. Well, when you say a match, are we talking about an MMA fight? Are we talking about point sparring? Are we talking about a real-life match?
I'm going to assume professional wrestling.
A professional wrestling match? You really think that's what he's actually asking?
I'm assuming. I mean, how many legit martial artists have wrestled?
A lot.
So.
A lot?
I mean, like, what would you find to be, like, you have your Antonio Inoki? Yeah.
Martial artists. We're not talking about MMA fighters, are we?
No, I'm talking about martial arts, like karate, taekwondo.
Let's see. Jiu-jitsu. So excluding the MMA boys and girls, Becky Lynch is actually a certified grappler who learned under Finn Balor.
Okay.
Finn Balor does catch wrestling, and Finn Balor is a legitimate grappler.
Okay.
Kazushi Sakuraba is an MMA fighter, but he was a martial artist first and foremost. Nobuhiko Takada did shoot wrestling. There's so many people, man. Even Daniel Bryan's a martial artist.
So then let's tweak the question just a little bit for Mr. Notaro. And what remember back in the day when UFC first started 25 years ago?
Yes, sir.
And you would have like these just drastic different styles, just getting in the octagon and just beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
So in that type of fight, in that type of organized fight, what discipline would you say is the best way to go?
I think that you would need a stand-up art and you would need a grounded art. Because obviously, there are 2 stages of a fight, which is a stand-up and a grounded fight. Back in these days, in the very bare beginning, you could hit to the groin. You could do whatever you want.
Yeah, I saw a fight last 13 seconds, and 12 of it was a guy punching another guy in the nads.
Right, in the balls. Yeah. Exactly. I would say top 5 martial art methods. I would certainly say that any submission would prove to be very important, especially leg locks, things like that. Leg locks, arm bars, that type of thing. Definitely the 4 basic punches. Jab, hook, cross, uppercut would help. Kicking. kicking, you know. I would say the fourth one is clinching. Like when you have a guy up against a cage and you're grappling with them, you know, where to hit, how to control the pace, how to control
I got you.
dominance, you know, how to actually be on the defensive end of it. And I think that the fifth one is really not even for the match itself, but it's in preparation of the match, is to know your opponent. But back then, you're going up against – what made it so interesting is you don't have time to study this guy. You're fighting multiple fights in a night, you know, in the very first few, because it's a tournament style.
It was like 3 in one night.
Right, exactly. So you don't have time to study your opponent. You just got to know, you know, how to, you know, just do your best in there. That's it. I think the fifth method is really cardio. Your endurance condition.
I can see that.
Is just you don't want to basically tap out or not have gas. Mm-hmm. You know, you want to be able to go the full way. You know, or dig deep and find a way to get a second wind or something. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think that's really important. I hope that's what Glenn is asking. If not, Glenn, get me up on Facebook again, which, by the way, Glenn, I'm not hating on him, but another proven point of why we are the redheaded stepchild of this network is that the man has not said one word on any of the podcasts, and he was already offered the largest paid guaranteed contract in the history of the More of the Same network. Right? That proves my point right there, Larry.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah. That was until I accidentally shredded his contract.
Oh, well, you know, he hasn't negotiated another one with you again. Doesn't that tell you something?
I'll get him.
Oh, you think so?
I'll get him.
Well, that would be nice. I would love to have him on the network, too. So maybe one day when he gets on the network, I'll leave.
Wow.
Take my commandos elsewhere if we're not treated correctly.
Oh,
sir.
No, they stay here.
No. Choose commandos goes where the man goes. Get what I mean? Yes, that's right. A high five to you too, sir. All right? When my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut.
Damn.
Now, so we're heading towards the tail end of things. Guys and gals out there, I have some huge projects in the works. I'm trying to get a guest on the show, a historical first guest, and I know exactly who I'm aiming for. So we are going to try to upgrade the equipment here and get a recorder so that we can actually start doing some interviews that will be incorporated in, or he'll be on the show. I am not going to reveal who it is because it's not finalized yet. Commandos, we will be working on our merchandise, and even the militants can get in on this.
We'll see about that. There may be an injunction.
Oh, and before we talk about the last topic of the day, let me plug something I found in the supermarket that I found very interesting. This ice cream company is called Enlightened, okay? Now, like Halo Top, a lot of these companies are coming out with this ice cream. It's called Enlightened, and it's 60 calories per serving, so the entire pint of ice cream is 240 calories, right? And what's very interesting is that their slogan says, more protein, less sugar, the good-for-you ice cream. And if you look at the nutritional facts, a half of a cup, first of all, there's 4 servings in this pint. In other words, a quarter of the cup basically here is the total fat is 1.5 grams, saturated fat is 1 gram, there's no trans fat, cholesterol is 20 milligrams, sodium is 35 milligrams, which is very low, right? The carbohydrates 14 grams, dietary fiber is 5 grams, 3 grams of sugar, and there's something called erythritol, and it's 5 grams and 6 grams of protein. All right, this is made with RBST-free milk, and basically skim milk, milk protein isolate, erythritol, which is a natural sweetener, a non-GMO soluble corn fiber. Cream contains 2% or less of vegetable glycerin, pasteurized eggs, vanilla bean extract, carb gum, guar gum, natural flavor, and monk fruit extract.
Monk fruit. I've seen a lot of this monk fruit. I just actually, when you're done talking about this product,
yep.
I got a product I'm going to talk about with that has monk fruit in it.
Go ahead.
And I'm getting it tomorrow. It's arriving. It's called Luma Soda, Luma, and it's a product. It's this startup company that's trying to, make better soda. The kind of their thought is, look, we all like soda, or most of us do, but they want to be able to make it better for you compared to the regular soda. And sometimes even diet soda is worse for you than the regular soda.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now at first I'm like, oh, maybe it's just kind of like glorified seltzer water. But it doesn't seem like it, even though they have cola, cherry cola, lemon lime, and blood orange. So I'm getting the lemon lime. And it's 100% money back guarantee, so I'm going to be honest with them. Now, they were up front. They're like, look, this is expensive. We're a startup company. So for a 12-pack, it was like $20 for a 12-pack. But, again, I knew that going in. They said, look, it's going to be expensive. It's something new. It's got, for soda. Now, you got to think of like Coca-Cola, think of Pepsi. And I know they have Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. They have that Pepsi Max Zero Sugar. But, it's still got all that other stuff in it. This Luma Soda, which I actually found through, amazingly enough, I found it through Facebook. It was weird. Almost like an advertisement through Facebook. It has 25 calories per can, 0 total fat, 10 milligrams sodium, 4 grams sugar. Again, it's still soda, so we're not saying it's still the most healthiest. But just listen to the ingredients of this. Carbonated water, monk fruit juice concentrate, natural flavors, honey, organic non-GMO citric acid for flavor. That's the lemon lime. So, I'm going to try it out, and I'm going to let everyone know how it is. But it's just funny that you mentioned that monk fruit. Let's see, there's no artificial sweetener, no stevia or sugar alcohols.
That's good.
So, I think they're in Canada. I'm not sure.
All right, give it a try and see
I
what
definitely
happens,
am. I should have ordered the cola one because
I wouldn't drink that on a regular though.
No. Again, it's not. It's
give
not
yourself
meant
a treat or something like that.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not meant to. It's not meant to be like the replacement of water. It's just, soda. That's all. Just better for you. That's all.
Exactly.
So, but definitely give it a shot.
All right. And we're going towards the tail end. We're about to deplete our resources here. So we got one last bit of effort, which is we want to talk about just when we thought we were out, they pulled us back in tour, right? So do you have any dates, Larry?
Let's see. What do we got coming up? I got a big one coming up. April 5th to the 11th, I will be in New Orleans, Louisiana for WrestleMania weekend. Let's see. A couple weeks thereafter, we are going to be at Chiller Theater. Anthony will give the dates on that in a little bit.
Oh, no. Just remember, the week after WrestleMania, who's getting inducted into the USW Hall of Fame?
What?
The week after WrestleMania, who is getting inducted to the USW Hall of Fame?
I can only assume the greatest champion.
You fucking nut!
Oh, what? Yes.
Did I not? What are you having, a senior moment? I announced this a couple episodes ago that you are getting inducted. What, are you not going to show up for your own induction now?
No. I will be there.
Who's inducting you?
I heard either.
Let me give you the answer. Let me give you a hint by giving you a riddle here. Who has two thumbs, points, and is the best in the world at what he does?
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Right here, baby. Me.
Is that going to be broadcast right here on the Yin and The Yang podcast?
Possibly.
Okay.
We will play some clips.
So we got the Chiller Theater coming up. I will be in Brooklyn for SummerSlam weekend, and it is in the works that yours truly may very well be heading to Los Angeles, California for the Survivor Series.
Wow. Okay. All right. Excellent. So fans, on our end of things, April 29th, we will be in Parsippany, New Jersey at the hotel, at the Hilton Hotel, Parsippany, for Chiller Theater on the 29th only, which is a Sunday. At the same time, June 9th, we will be in the Ramada Hotel for the Legends of the Ring, where D'Lo Brown and $1 Million Man are still the only two people signed on to this venue. We will also, the week after WrestleMania, Larry will be inducted into the USW Hall of Fame, and he still doesn't even know if he's going because he's not sure that he is being inducted. He apparently doesn't listen to the show for sure now, so I've caught him in a second lie.
Come on.
On June 10th, I believe I will certainly be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for the Dawn of the Dead 40th anniversary reunion.
That's cool.
Tour, which I would love to certainly meet all the people that were a part of it. To meet the original cast, man, what can you say, you know? At the same time, the only other thing is there is a possibility I may go to SummerSlam. I'm not sure. But, yes, it is also official that I will be competing in October in Colorado. And while I'm there, I will attend possibly an American Ninja Warrior event.
Really? That's cool.
And, yes, and then possibly propose marriage to Megan Martin.
Oh, well, I don't know about that.
No, I know it will happen. Trust me. I'm an A-lister, my friend. Why am I on a F-listed network? But that's a different story.
What?
Well, you treat me like an F-lister, but that's a different story.
Oh.
Anyway, now, I think we've depleted the resources.
Have we?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
Yes, we have. So, brother, once again, always a pleasure to do this program for the people. It is the people's podcast. So, other than that, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for your love and continued support for our show. Please look us up. Where can they hit us up at?
You can find us at Facebook.com/the Yin and The Yang podcast. You can find the show pretty much anywhere you listen to the podcasts. Spreaker as well, iTunes. We just joined TuneIn, so you can find us on the TuneIn app. And you can find me everywhere at More365 pretty much.
There you have it. All right. Well, other than that, everybody, and if you have any questions, comments, shout-outs, anything that you want to add to the show, anything that you don't like about the show, please hit us up at yinandyangpodcast at gmail.com. Once again, that is yinandyangpodcast at gmail.com. So until next time, everybody, on behalf of my co-host and the rest of the nutbag interns that we have in the back, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your love and support. We will catch up with you for episode 24 next week. We drop every single Friday.
Every Friday.
Every Friday. Do you guys hear that? Do you idiots, do you asshats in the back hear this? Friday. Not Saturday, not Sunday, not Thursday. Friday. Morons. Anyway, work out. Take care of yourselves. Be good to yourself. Your body is your temple. Your mind is your temple. And be good to the people around you and make this world a better place. And you can't teach that. Peace!
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the